very familiar with his work for human rights, especially in Sudan. And we are now very lucky to host here in Slovenia because of an unfortunate situation. Actually, the daughters of Suleiman Jamus, who is a humanitarian coordinator in the rebel groups in Sudan. Here with us are Samah Jamus and Sumaya Jamus. Samah lives in Khartoum. She just recently finished university. She's a dentist and a human rights activist. She fights for human rights, for the rights of Darfuris, for the students. And Sumaya is living currently for the last 6 years in London with her family. And she's also very active on the human rights field. She works also voluntarily for the voice of the Darfurian women in London. So we are very happy to be able now to hear her stories. I will very briefly also present what Amnesty International is doing on Sudan. That's what Professor Rote also asked me. And then we will give words to Tomo, who will present the last developments in the area, because you already heard his presentation last year. And for the most of the time we want to focus on hearing from Sumaya and Suma what it's like living in Sudan and about the human rights violations there, because they are the ones who has the first-hand experience and very valuable insight for all of us. So to just briefly start with Amnesty International. As you know, we are an international non-governmental organization fighting and campaigning for the end of violation of human rights, but also trying to push the boundaries of human rights even further. Unfortunately, we've been denied access to Sudan from 2006, and the same goes for all other big NGOs. So you have to rely mostly on the testimonies of eyewitnesses, of victims, of their families, of people who come from Sudan, and then we can talk to them also with satellite images, on photo material. We are also going to Chad to talk to the refugees in the centers in Chad. And people like Tomo, who are really going there, trying to get the information, to see what is happening with their own eyes, and also people living there are very important source of information, and also inspiring for us. So just to shortly say what Amnesty has been covering and finding out in the last year, in 2014. We did three reports on the violation on the most systematic level in Sudan. How we work is that first we gather information, our researchers prepare reports in order to then campaign for the improvement of human rights situation through mobilization, lobbying, advocacy, etc. We also do urgent actions when we found out that some people are in distress and they need some international pressure to, I don't know, for instance, to get released. So just the three topics very shortly are excessive and deadly use of force, detention and torture against protesters. Like in the last year, there was a huge, there was an uprising of people in Sudan protesting. Now in this deteriorating economy with raising inflation, and the repression of any form of dissent and protest has been characteristic of the 25 years of the Bashir government in the last year. So the government, the security forces, the police is really using a lot excessive force against the protester, arbitrary detention, torture, and other forms of ill treatment. The other topic that we covered is intercommunal violence in central Darfur, where a lot of civilians are suffering. And the third thing are also the attacks on the southern Kordofan by the government forces. All these reports can be found on amnesty.org. You just write Sudan in and everything comes out. And then we also work on urgent action. For instance, now one that is actually now is one opposition leader is in risk of receiving the death penalty. So we ask our members and supporters all around the world to write and ask for their release. Also another opposition leader, a woman, has been arrested in Khartoum airport and is detained without charge in an unknown location. Then we had a big campaign for the Maryam Ibrahim, a Sudanese Christian, who was sentenced to death by hanging because she didn't renounce her Christian religion, and also to the sentence of flogging because she married a non-Muslim man. And 1 million of people around the world wrote appeals for her release, and now she is released in the US Embassy in Khartoum, but unable to leave Sudan currently. So these are just the few examples. Then there are 3 youth activists arrested this year, also in Khartoum protests, and so on. So now I would like to give opportunity to Toma to show us some footages and videos and to tell us what is happening now, because he knows the best.
It's difficult to say you in the face that the main reason for this suffering which we will hear about today from you as the victims, it's a lie. There is lying everywhere. Everybody is lying. Particularly about Africa, and particularly about Sudan, and particularly about the border areas from where our friends are coming. Everybody is lying. Humanitarian organizations, human rights organizations, governments, and of course the politicians, the diplomats. That's why this can still continue and is going on in Congo, where 5 to 10 million people died in the last 15 years, 20 years, because of coltan. We are using coltan for these machines. It's a beautiful mineral. Enable the condensators to be so small, so our cameras are now just like this big. Or even smaller. Very tiny spy cameras that are available in the Chinese market for 10 euros. This is like an eye and air. Everybody can buy it. There is no excuse no more to not have the camera. You have it on the mobile telephone. You can use it anytime to document the human rights abuses. Everybody now can use this mineral from Congo to document the human rights. The mineral is coming from a continent, from the heart of darkness, where are more human rights abuses than anywhere I know on the planet. Congo, the heart of darkness. It's going on because of the mineral. Although even BBC and CNN and Channel 4 and Al Jazeera done it, the same documentary films which we are now producing, nothing changed. They accuse the corporations, we are very sympathetic with them, to be cannibalistic. They talk about the blood in your mobile. That means everybody is somehow responsible for the death of millions of children and hundreds and thousands of raped women in Congo. But nothing changed. Why? Because nobody cares, everybody is lying to himself that it's not me and I cannot do, and these are exaggerations, but they are not exaggerations. Once before it was Rora in Congo, that half of the population died. This happened in the time of the Belgian colonial private colony by Ludwig II, private colony. And now it's called that. In Sudan, it's water, good land, good for commercialized agriculture, that means for mechanization, for agribusiness. And there is good land, yes, very good land, the best land, on the planet, in the Nile Basin, black cotton soil, and there are minerals like petrol, oil, and more, up till uranium. Everybody is lying to himself. We are lying. I'm lying to myself too. I'm a liar. I'm a big liar. So I can escape to my consciousness, from my awareness, but I am cannibal too. I am eating these children and women. I am raping the woman in Congo. Myself, I am doing that. Because I am using this, my telephone. But there is one man that is really struggling not to lie. This is this man, Suleiman Junus. I met him in 2006 in Darfur as special envoy of the late Slovenian president, Dr. Janez Drnovšek. I arrived to find the truth. What's Darfur about? We know the truth about Nuba, because I'm there from 1979. But is it Darfur the same case? It's just because of racism? Because the Arabs believe they are more, although they have nicely written in Quran, the black man, it's not less than the red man. The red man, it's not more than the black man. So they should follow the cooperation, just like in case of the body fingers. Like all fingers are working together, and we can do much more if we use all fingers than just one. This one, or this one. This one is very useful, everybody knows that. This one is dangerous, but there are other fingers that are very helpful. This one took me around the world 2 decades back. I hitchhiked all planet, and at that time I learned that respect to different. We cannot speak about races. This is crime now. This is fascist ideology. We can speak about different sorts of life on the planet. And Suleiman Junus represents one sort of life, which is living in Darfur for very long, from ancient time. He's from the Gawa tribe. He's a chemical, I think, paper engineer. He's engineer. Yes. He was abroad. He's articulated, most intelligent. He's respected as a leader. He's the leader of the Gawa tribe. And most of all, the main quality is he's really not trying to lie. I can say this because I spent with him lots of time from 2006 up to now. In the last 2 years, in 3 years, 4 years, he spent even in our house here in Gorinska, in Naklo. So I am the one that I believe to one man in this mess, in Africa, in Sudan, in Darfur. It's Suleiman Junus, and these are his daughters. And I believe that they are continuing to speak the truth. Suleiman Junus never exaggerated about the victims, how many numbers, how many people has been killed, as they are lying all around him. Even the commanders, even the rebel leaders, they are lying. They are also businessmen. You know that. You will not believe me if I will try to romanticize these movements in Africa, especially in Sudan. You will believe me, I hope more if I tell you the whole truth, because that's the most important thing. To face the truth, then we can try to find out what to do now, when the most innocent people, these are, in my experience, the indigenous people. Indigenous people didn't develop their mind so far that they could create a big religions and lie about God and evil and Satan and hell and this. They didn't develop such complex minds that they can manipulate the whole world like modern corporations which are enslaving you all the time, non-stop. The indigenous people are the ones who are the most raped and exterminated on the planet, and this is happening because they are natural resources under their feet. We done this in Americas, we done this in Australia, we done this everywhere on the planet, particularly the white people. My sort of life, human sapiens life on the earth, everywhere. I would like to suggest you to read one book that you will understand me easier. This is Sven Lindquist, Exterminate All the Brutes. This is the call in our Western culture. which excuse what we are doing the last at least 500 years, if not before. You can find more about this in this latest book translated in Slovenia by Harari, Kratka zgodovina človeštva, The Short History of Humanity, which is done by a Jewish homosexual from Jerusalem, and he's going back really to the birth of Homo sapiens and the extermination of the Neanderthals, and up till today, when we are continuing to exterminate our own sort of life, our own Homo sapiens everywhere. Don't believe even to him everything. He's trying to, I mean, the main need why he wrote this book is to find excuse for the, not excuse, the rights for homosexuals. I have no problem with homosexuals at all, because I'm a lesbian. I'm lesbian, I'm living in a symbiotic relationship with a woman very easily. I'm the one who usually adapts, and it's great. It's a good way of survival. I recommend to be lesbian to any man in this Western society now. Be lesbian and you will have easy life. Yeah? It's much better. You have to change this position. So I have nothing against his main attention, because there are many data in this book that is good that you know. It's a different sort of looking on our history. But then it's another book that I also cannot go ahead with my lecture. It's the Tiziano Terzani, Letters Against the War. This should be the Bible in all institutions. This man was a war reporter, like Boštjan Videmšek, who studied in this same university. Boštjan Videmšek is now one of a Slovenian journalists that are really trying to say the whole truth. Even if he died, and he will die. Boštjan Videmšek, read him and read Tiziano Terzani. He was in Vietnam War and all Western wars after, and he really analyzed how we succeed to convince the whole world that our wars are righteous, that we have the right to have these wars. These people are with me. Oh, here. With these people I am. Because they are not lying so much. They can't. They are very innocent. That's why I believe that they are the roots of humanity. Because they have still a close relationship with nature. They see in the trees the family members, cousins, sisters, grandmothers, and they see in the animals something similar. They are not Darwinists, of course, they are not Darwinists. Even Darwinism is abused today and a lie. But they know solidarity. They know how important it is to work together. They are at the least individuals, not individualistic at all. And that's why, because they are working together, they are succeeding to survive in Sudan, where everybody is racist. Be honest and tell you, we are racist. Everybody is racist, not only here in Europe, and in China, and in India, Russia. Everyone in Sudan is racist. I find only one man that have a feeling that he understands why the Dinkas are so horrible. Suleiman Jammus's father said to me last year when the war started in South Sudan, the Dinka have the right to be so horrible. And there is a reason why Nuer are attacking. Why Omar Bashir rented Nuers, worked together with Riek Machar, and now they are making and expanding the border wars from Darfur and Nuba and Brunei into South Sudan. The target is to destabilize your South African people. Let them kill themselves. Let the slave kill the slave. Not only divide and rule, as we know from Roman times or even before, but Arabs have a particularly dangerous method to have clean hands and get rid of the indigenous people. And this tactic or strategy is kill the slave with the slave. How do you say in Arabic? You know, this is for me the most painful truth. And that's what I see is the reason for so much suffering in Africa, particularly Sudan. Since British left, probably 3 to 5 million people died, mostly children, mostly women and old people. The soldiers, they know how to protect themselves. People like Mama there, they are the most. I met them, I filmed them, I spent too much time with them, and that's why, please forgive me, I am so angry. I am so angry on the liars, on media, which are not writing honestly about Sudan. They're just talking there is some tribes fighting in Sudan, and there is war in most of the provinces, and this war will go on forever. No, this war is manipulated and orchestrated by the whole world, European Union included, particularly the metropolis where colonials are still living and their families. And they try to get Africa from the hand of China and India and Pakistan and Indonesia. Now, it's very late, so they are using all tricks. They are using all tricks to control Africa, but they can't because the borders are colonial. People doesn't feel comfortable in their borders. From Libya to Iraq, Syria to Congo to Somalia to Eritrea, Ethiopia, Yemen, Chad, everywhere the borders are falling apart. And the Janjaweeds, the road bandits, the criminals from the bush, are organizing themselves in a new countries, in a new states. And these states, new African states, will be as bloody as is the new one in the Middle East, the Caliphate. But they have excuses why this is normal, why they should do this. And the excuse is presented by the part of brains, which is lately discovered to produce excuses for whatever we do. Every our deed is somehow excused by the part of the brain or mind, so you don't feel bad. There is consciousness, there is underconsciousness, and there is this particular department from where the lies are coming. So we are excusing our deeds and lying to each other, and the suffering in Sudan is particularly because of this capability of Homo sapiens to lie. We are trying to change this with the cameras. We want that we record every lie and present to the liars and to the whole community of human beings in the air. That's why we supplied in the last 5 years more than 1,000 cameras to Sudan, but also Congo. Both Sudan, South Sudan, border areas and in the north, but also in the south, also in Congo. And we are getting information and photographs and reports daily. We get news immediately. Then we are struggling to get this into media, and we are struggling to get these truths to the organizations, Amnesty included, but others also, who can bring it food and protection for the women and children, and especially for the indigenous people. But my experience after 15 or 10 years of working this is that it's very difficult, because the whole collective unconsciousness mentioned by Jung and all archetypes in collective unconsciousness of all 7 billion people are always producing excuses, so we humanity, we don't feel bad for this our cannibalism, which is even worse now. We are actually eating ourselves. It's homo cannibalism, or how you will mention it. We are eating ourselves. We are eating the best in us, and we are changing into machines, less and less sensitive, more and more like automats. So now we have drones. Not drones like our lots of war in Pakistan and Afghanistan and Somalia, are small machines like this. And with these drones we are filming now and teaching the volunteers and trying to find out how to get majority of still sensitive people in the world to feel the pain for what is disappearing. I will stop with my talk. I will like just to show you how it looks, the fly, and how efficient it can be, and how people are accepting these machines. Machines should work for people. Machines should not kill the humanity. Machines must be tools for development, for evolution, and not for making us stupid, as the entertainment industry and most of media, and also universities and all institutions practically are doing. This footage was done in June this year. No sound. I don't know English word for jaslice. We have maybe no translation because we are using only for Christmas time. It's the story of little gardens with Jesus and Joseph and Mary and little cow and goats. These are jaslice, yeah? Living jaslice. Yeah? For the one of you who believe in God, this is not dead plastic from China imported jaslice. This is real jaslice. And here in this jaslice, they are living people just like kekec je the best. Ja? Dobra volja je najbolja, to zapiši si za uho. Dalej boste videli leteti. Čisto dolžne ljudi. Zato pravim, da ubijamo najbolj nedolžne. In s tem podpiramo z našo ignoranco pa aroganco najbolj pokvarjene in zahrbne. In zato se spreminjamo tudi sami vedno bolj pokvarjene in lažnine. In ta oddelek v možganih nam preprečuje in nam vedno najde ekskuz, ne more biti drugačen, če so vse tak. Ali pa nič ne morem, jaz čisto sam nič ne morem. Ampak te detile niso tak. In potem vem, da je človek nekaj drugega, kot jaz. Jaz sem tudi knjim. Glede, kekce. To so kekce. Vsi v Sudanu so rasisti ljudje tudi. Everybody is racist to one Sudan. Not only the ones, the people who believe they are Arabs. Not only the ones who accepted Arab culture. And they are using the tactic, kill the slave with the slave. Everyone is racist, to another tribe, if not to...
Can I interrupt you? Where the weapons are coming from? We are not calling for
Iran.
the arms embargo to South Sudan because the weapons are used for the atrocities.
China, Russia, Qatar, Saudi. Most of this for lots of the traders of guns are done with Iranian. They have factory to do it.
Yes.
And I think you can say more about this. You know, there is factory built by Iranians, and also that the government is trying to have good relationship with Sunni, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, because that's where the money is coming from. Yeah. But look, Russians, look America, look Chinese. And when I was in Darfur in 2006, I was also the one who saw how American Kalashnikovs was coming through Libya and the Gaddafi. Everybody is ready to hear the war because the biggest profits are in the war. But I finished. Please.
Because the weapons trade is also very much connected to the human rights. We are now, the ATT, the Arms Trade Treaty, is coming into force in 90 days after the 50 ratification, which was at the end of September. We were very much working on this, which the treaty is prohibiting the trade and any transfer of any arms, conventional arms, munition, any parts to the countries where they could be used for human rights violation for the breaches of humanitarian law. So this is something where other countries not involved directly in the conflict has an important role. So to stop fueling these atrocities with the arms coming supplying to the both sides who commit atrocity. For example, the China is just this month has just shipped for €1 million ammunition and conventional arms to South Sudan, and these arms are used for killing and war crimes and other humanitarian breaches of humanitarian law. So thank you, Toma. And now I will ask some questions to Samah and Sumaya. And when we finish, there will be still a lot of time left for you to ask questions to them. So thank you for coming. I will just now we found out that there have been some attacks in the food factory 2 days ago. Can you just tell us what is happening actually right now? What happened?
Yeah, this attack happened yesterday and the day before in the village. It's a small village. It's called Bir Zamzam, or before it was named as Hassan Marisa. And it's a very small area, but the Janjaweed, it's the Arab tribe. They came and they tried to steal some things from the people. And when they just try to protect themselves, they start fighting with them. And they went back to the militia from the government, supported by the government, and they asked for help to come and attack those people. And you can say it's our family, because 2 of my dad's sisters, they live there. And they came with the government support, and they burned all the area. And until now, we don't know who dead, who's alive, who's surviving, and we don't have much information until now. We are trying to find out a little bit information about who's still alive there. And the government prevent us from contacting, because when something like that happened in my area, they just put the system down. So you can't call, you can't send the photo, you can't try to. So now we send some people from Khartoum to go there to see what's happening actually in the land.
But are the civilians in any way protected by the government against these attacks between tribes or by the paramilitary government?
No, if you have power from your inside, you can protect yourself by using this white weapon. If you don't have it, so you will be killed immediately, because the other people are supported by the government. It's known Janjaweed, and it's a type of Janjaweed called Abutera now. They live there. Sorry for just go straight away for our problem. I didn't say hello to you, and I didn't say anything. Because you know, our day life, it's become like a war. We sleep in this news and we get up in this news since 2003 until now. I apologize.
Samah, you're studying in Khartoum. Just in the beginning of October, there have been some arrests by the security services in the Khartoum University. Can you tell us what happened, why?
In the beginning of October, also I should say hi, sorry. Sorry. It's nice to be here and to present our problem and send you a message about what happened there and waiting for your cooperation. On the 1 October, the main student, female student dormitory, actually in the beginning of October there was Eid al-Adha, it's a holiday, and most of students residing there, they go back to their families, except those from the far places like Darfur. They stay during the holiday in the dormitories, so it's easy for the government to attack them, because they are just those from the marginal area. So about 50 female students was there, and they gave them alarm for emptying the dormancy, because they say they want to do some preparation, and for those females there is no place to go, so they talk with them and to give them just time to prepare. And on 5 October they raid the dormancy with force and arrest about the actual number that we know, it's 20 female students, but now we have many, we don't know where they are. There are about 60 girls, and during the emptying of the dormancy, much of them was harassed sexually, and there was using violence against them. One of them, they forced to release her because she was in bad medical situation, and I guess she will have a surgery maybe in the next days, because there a problem in her stomach because someone fisted her in her stomach. Those are the NISS, it's National Security in Sudan. And we are doing like a campaign and like advocate in Avas to release them, and we have a meeting with regional authority of Darfur to help in releasing them, but they are the right hand now of the government and no response from inside. I should mention that the agreement of Darfur, some of the military of a rebel, they do an agreement. The agreement should protect the students, the foreign students, and should offer for them free residence in the dormancy and free education. But every time we fight to find our rights, and it's already in the agreement, but we have to fight and we have to demonstrate, and our students have to go and ask for help, and many times they go to prison, and we fight to release them.
But why does this happen? Why did they arrest them? It's just to intimidate them, or?
It's a continuation. What happened in Darfur will happen to you in Khartoum. You know?
I will add something. It's like a pressure. They try to put a pressure on everyone from these regions, just to show that they are in power, and we don't have anything to do. They said it to me when I was in my final year university. They said to me, they stopped me from doing the exam. I did 3 exams, and on the 4th day when I came, they said, "Oh, you are Sumay Gamus? I said, yes. He said, the head need you there in his office. I said, okay, after the exam I will go. He said, no, right now. When I went there, there was no head, there was nothing in the office, it was empty, and I stayed there from 9 o'clock until 5 o'clock in the evening, waiting for him. And when he came next day, he said, oh, you went to your family in Darfur and you stayed with them, and now you are trying to get your graduation with the other people? It's impossible. I said, why? He said, because you are from there. I said, but I have a right to do the exam. He said, no. They stopped me from doing the exam at that time with the others. And I was in like fighting with them until 4 months later, they agreed me to go for the exam, but as medical exception. So I did my exam at that. In the other people, they did their exam in 1 month. I did it in 1 week, from Saturday to Saturday. And I'm doing the theory and the lab section in 1 day for 5 hours a day. And I finished, but finally I get my graduation and I went. So they're doing that for every single one. And if you don't have your right, you don't know your rights, you just say okay and obey to them and go. But my father, I'm so happy that he's my father. Because he teaches us to fight to get your right. So I was fighting, sometimes crying, sometimes just knock my head on the other doors, but we fight to find our rights. So it's happening since then until now.
And there were a lot of protests also in university in the last year. How did the government forces respond to that?
On last March, one of our colleague was killed inside the university. He's called Ali Abakar. He is studying economic in University of Khartoum. There was no demonstration. It was just like presenting the issues of Darfur inside the university. No one was outside the university, and it's not allowed for the Sudanese force to come inside the university, but it happened. They opened the gate for them, and also the government student, they come with guns, yeah, and start shooting randomly. Unfortunately, Ali Abakar was shot, and they prevent everyone to
medical support,
yeah, to support him, and they took the dead body, and we fight about 6 hours just to find the dead body. You know, after we find it, his family came and thanked us because we found the dead body. Every time if there is a demonstration or a voice for right, all what we found from the government is force. And last September on the streets, about 300 of school children, high school and primary school, was killed also in Khartoum, because they go to the streets asking for
the rights, for the basic rights.
Yeah.
We need free education, we need the health, we need this. Everybody has it in the whole world, but in Sudan we can't. If you ask about this, they just shot you in your head. And Samachi had pictures here, but I need to warn you because some pictures are very, very strong, and but it's shocking pictures, but it's our reality in Sudan. You can see kids without heads because of the government just pumping us. And I saw in 2004 in Darfur, they attacked even the graves, the dead people. They attack the graves with the airplanes, and they turn the graves over. So it's shocking pictures, but unfortunately, you will see it right now.
And mentioned earlier that there were a lot of protests now in Sudan due to austerity measures and dissatisfaction, and that we reported on extrajudicial killings, the arbitrary arrest, the torture as well. But what happened after that? Do the people complain? Are the perpetrators at the end brought to justice, or it's just this impunity? What can you do when this kind of human rights violations happen?
Well, the report from the you don't have any document that can prove that you was harassed by the government, because from the hospital the report are written as it's a car accident, or it's home violence, or no one will write that it's gunshot, or it's something from the government. And also, there is no justice in Sudan, and you cannot go to the court asking for your rights. It's like no, it's.
We know that only one of 58 criminal complaints made by families of the victims in the last protests were even brought to the court. All the others were just diminished, they were not brought even to the court.
Because they go at the night time, they go for the family, and they ask them not to go to the court and to report it. And sometimes they say, we will do this for you and for your kids and for the others if you go and report this. Every time they do it, even they did it for us as a family. When they arrest my dad, they arrest him in 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. And they were coming to our house and asked for not to go and ask for him. And sometimes, one time I remember, for 75 days we were searching, where is our dad? We don't know even where. We were searching different cities, asking people for help, just to find him. Where is he? Is he alive or not? So, and one of them, they asked us, why you don't come to us and say, okay, we will obey to the government, so we will release your dad and we can give you money, we can give you this, and we can build your house nicely, and we can offer you a job and everything. We said to them, we are not going to ask you, and we will go for our rights anywhere. And this is happening for the families now.
And how is it like for women rights in Darfur?
The men, they don't have rights, so how the women can have rights in Darfur?
It's actually, you don't have even the right to life. The main, because of the culture in Sudan, or in also you was have it had it in Slovenia maybe 100 years ago. Women's should
stay at home. They don't have much right to go out to work to do this. But in Sudan is different because it's a conflict area. So imagine the life for the others is hard. So for the women it's much harder. They don't have. I don't want to talk about these rights like equality and everything. We need just the basic rights for them to have good health, for them to have a good education, even not reading or writing, because 80% of Sudanese people are not read or write. But we need for them to know that they are women. They need to live as women, and to have like basic health. They don't have basic health. Now, until now, the women can give birth in their home with just help with neighbor or something. So it's bad situation really in Sudan for all the people.
Probably affects the maternal mortality and probably also that of the children.
One woman, she was traveling 300 miles, and she was in labor. There was no medical health, so she struggled. So they transfer her to another city, and you know, we don't have this infrastructure, and it was like van, car. Just people, they do like sheet to protect her from the others, and they travel for this distance for her to have her baby born.
And what about the female genital mutilation? Is this still very used and spread? And how does it affect someone?
Yeah, it's even among the educated people, because it's like a traditional, like if you didn't do this for your children, it's like a shameful thing to do female genital mutilation, and the society will not let you or leave you.
Just they say to you, oh, you are not complete. In Sudan, you are not a complete woman unless you have this. So this is our problem now. So we were talking about this for so many years for the people, but it's need like 50 years to be cleared out.
Yeah, we doing like lectures and many stuffs to educate people, but we are forced or faced by especially men and also women. Yeah, and
but there is some families now, they understand this dangerous procedure, and they try to not to do it, but they forced by the whole community. So they do like celebration, and they invite the people to their houses, and they show them that they did it, but actually they don't, and they just hide it to prevent their daughters from the others sort and talk and this.
Someone said you were very lucky because your father supported you going to university. How it's like for the majority of girls?
Those who live in capital or the nearest state, it's to some extent it's easy to be educated, but for those in the rural area, it's like to be educated, it's unusual thing. And if your father tried to educate you, the others will ask, why do you pay for them? Just find a man for her to marry, and then you are free from the responsibility. Yeah, it's just a way to waste your money and to pay for the school and pay for the university, and at last you will marry someone and she will leave you. So why you waste your money? And also that because of education in Sudan is not for free. Since preschool you should pay, and you know maybe more than 90% of Sudanese are below the poverty line. So how they fight to find food for themselves? How it's like it's impossible to pay for education, and it's good for the government to govern non-educated people and those who can, you can lead them anywhere, any way you need without any problem. Than govern educated people. So the government destroys the education system. At past, my university, Khartoum University, was the third university in the world. Now it's maybe 500 back, and it's gone from bad to worse every year. Yeah.
Thank you. Do you have something to add before we go to the questions from the students? Maybe to show the photos you said you want to show?
Yeah. I will guide that some photos are shocking, and let's sorry. This is just this is ethnic diversity in Sudan, from parts of Sudan, and we have many religions and language and dialect. We have like 150 language and also dialects for the tribes. Yeah, I have my own language, it's Dogaja language, and also beside that I speak Arabic and English. Yeah, this is official language, Arabic and English. This is old Sudan, and this is Sudan now, before the secession of South Sudan. Okay, this is a school in Niala, it's in Darfur. Okay, they hide inside caves, and they dig some holes and hide. This is permanent village in Darfur. This is a source of water. This is a clinic in refugee camp in Darfur. Women in caves and children in Nuba Mountains area. Sorry for this. After bombing, Nuba Mountains, it's a beautiful area. They hide in caves from the anti-North rain and bombing. The animals are this is how they can reach the water sources and nature
Okay, now. Do you have any questions, Sam?
Where do you see the hope? Maybe in more media attention or ending the government? Where do you see the most hope for these horrific problems that you have?
The hope is, the first thing is for our people to believe in themselves, that they are going to find a better life, because they lost this hope, and if they didn't feel it from their inside, it will be impossible for anybody to help them. This is the first one. The second one, for the media. Because pictures like this will touch the people's heart, and maybe they will react better than what they are doing right now. The third thing is to enforce the people in power to at least to put a pressure on our government. All the world know that there is the ICC, and our case in the ICC since it's 10 years ago, and there is one order to prosecute our president, but now he's freely go to China, from Africa to China, from Africa to Egypt. 2 days ago he was in Egypt for 2 days, to Saudi, to Qatar, and nobody doing anything for him. So we need to ask the people in power to help us to finish this government, and also work on our people to rehabilitate them. Because now the people in land are hopeless. Because this government, since I was 9 years old, and until now, and they're doing the same every day. Now my son, he's 10 years old.
How do you get the humanitarian aid, like for instance food, medical supplies, if no NGO could come into your country? So where do you get the help?
Most of them now, they work from the outside the borders. For the people in other countries, like there is lots of camps in Chad, so they go through Chad. And some of them, they are in Khartoum, but they give like drops of aid for the people, because they are under the government hand, and they do what the government tell them to do, and they help the government when they allow them to go to one direction, they can help in that direction under the government. So sometimes they help the camps with more Arab people than the camps with more African people. So they do this inside Sudan, and this camp was attacked 2 days ago. It's more with African people. It's our tribe. So they attack these camps, and they ate the other camps.
Okay, first let me express my huge admiration for what you do. But my question is, do you feel in danger when you return to your country, especially because you're advocating for human rights and international aid? Or does it make you in some kind safer because of that?
For me, I left the country 2005. And I tried to go there last summer, but the people around me, they prevent me, especially for taking my kids to Sudan, because they said you will be arrested from the airport and everything. And I said, I don't care, I will go, I will visit my country, I need to see my mom. But unfortunately, my dad, he fell sick, and now he's in Slovenia. in the hospital since 21st of July, and so I turned my holiday from Sudan to Slovenia with him, and thankfully I can see all my family here, and I saw them since I left them. They was in the primary school, and I saw them here in Slovenia, so I'm so pleased that I saw them. But going to Sudan, it's a challenge, and we will see what will happen for them when they go. They are going next month, so we'll see what the government will do for them, because they came and they saw their dad, and he was banned from going to Sudan, and there was no connection between them when he left the country 2003 until now.
Actually, to her it's easy because she's a British citizen, but I'm Sudanese. Even if I keep silent, it's a problem. Yeah, because I visit my father, and they because he's a humanitarian coordinator, and because he's Sulaiman Jamus, it will be a trouble for me, but I don't care, because since I'm 9 years old, I live in such a situation, and many times they try to arrest me, many times they try to shoot me, and this is my life.
It's become our life.
Yeah. Any question?
How about your father? Is he going with you the next month back to Sudan, or is he staying in Slovenia?
He is in the hospital, but if he go to Sudan, he will go directly to his place in the prison. And we know this place because he was there for 4 times. So, and he's, you can say he's the most wanted one for this government. They try to pay him sometimes, they try to kill him sometimes, they try so many times, and Tom knows about this. But he's here in Slovenia, and he was very safe while he was here. So they tried to grab him out for the last 10 years, but they couldn't. So if he went to them, it would be like golden opportunity for them to have him, because he had the power in the other side. So if he went to Sudanese government, maybe they will control all the others.
Even he know more about the genocide and all the and he can be or he have all the humanitarian documents and all the what can be a trouble for the government with the ICC. And
So ICC, I don't believe.
Yeah,
they make our problem like flat. Every time when we say, oh, it will going to end, they do release another papers and do like delay for the court to be in. So they are doing their business.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, it's all about economic. It's
political.
Never matter that there some people die. It's about the economic of maybe China, USA, and Russia, Iran, and Qatar, Saudi Arabia.
We are lost.
Yeah, they don't care about our lives. They care about what on our pocket, what on our land. It's.
You have some in your pocket.
At past. At past, at least.
What's your opinion about this factory that is being built to build weapons?
Thankfully, USA they attacked this factory last year, so there's no more unless they build another one.
I would do.
Do you think there is a way that we can help? Because we sit here as bystanders and we want to do something, but we don't know how. Do you have? Can you tell us how we can help?
I think you already did by seeing this, by listening to us, and I'm sure you will transfer it to another one. So most the people they know about our problem will be beneficial to us. So if you just say this, what we did today to 2 people, it will be great for us, I think. So thanks for just for sitting and listening to us. It's a miracle for us.
Also, you are a citizen of European Union, so your governments can do if you push them. So now we have, thankfully, that we have social media. We have many sites to do advocate work, and you can arrange an advocate work. You can maybe even just publish photos. For example, release the foreign student. They are now they are maybe three weeks. They are arrested, and we don't know how they are. And you can do many things. You are free.
You have social media. You have lots of things here, and
no one will attack you. So it's you can do many things. You can help.
First of all, thank you so much for coming and talking to us. I'd like to reflect on a more general question. So here within the course of international protection of human rights, we learn about documents, we learn about institutions, we learn about different actors, we learn about the implementation of human rights. And my question, I guess, is very simple. What do human rights mean to you?
Really,
because what I'm coming from is this idea that we sort of take many human rights for granted, and at the same time we learn about this great development in the international community that seeks to protect individuals. But then we are so frequently faced with individuals. You put it so nicely that you're not even after major human rights, but you're about basic satisfaction of basic human needs. So some sort of basic security, basic access to satisfaction of human needs. So that's why I'm wondering if you can sort of share some of your thoughts about how do you look at what we refer to as human rights protection, as human rights as an idea, as a concept, as a norm, and of course as politics.
In my opinion, the human rights, it's the basic right for everyone to live in this land. So if we give or if we have our security, if we have our basic health, if we have our basic education, we can generate the other rights for us. If that means if you have your education, you will know what you need. So the rights is not, there is no scale for the rights. You can generate these rights for yourself, but you need the basic one first. And in our region, the rights is just the basic. If we get the basic, we can go further. But in the whole world, the human rights it's huge, and I don't think I can talk about it in here, especially in here, because you are human rights students, and you know more than me, but for me it's the basic.
To me, I can say it's something I read in a textbook. I did not touch it yet. I did not see it yet. Since I born, our president is Al-Bashir. Yeah. Now I'm graduated and I'm working. The president is Al-Bashir. For every single step, I should fight. For my life, I should fight. For the education, I should fight. I failed many times from the university, but the good thing that my degrees are good. So this is a power point. This is a point of power on my hand. For my health, I should fight also. You know, in the clinic in Sudan, we work without mask, without gloves, without. This is for the rafahiyat. Extra. This is really it's extra. You know, it's not. No one can note that it's not point of complaint. Yeah, it's not point of complaint. Yeah, the complaint is how to find our food, how to find safe place. Yeah, how to can I walk in the street without fear that someone will attack me, someone will harass me.
She reminded me of something. I graduated as a biomedical scientist in 2004, and when we were just doing our practical and training in one hospital, we asked the manager to give us just gloves, because I work in a lab with specimen, blood, and so on. And he said, "Oh, you are a student of universities, you just ask for lots of things. Just go and work. We do this work without any gloves." So I can work in the lab without gloves, until one day there was 2 HIV samples and 1 hepatitis sample. They came to the lab accidentally because it was a general lab. So we were working in this specimen, and one of the students, she just missed the tube, and it poured in the table. And after that, they alarmed that we should wear gloves. After 3 months of working without any protection. So this is actually what our life there. And this happening in Khartoum, not in Darfur, not in conflict area, not in. I work in the conflict area without any protection to help people for injection, for giving them the medicine, for the basic test like malaria test, like this test with the strips. But this is in conflict area, I can understand this, but in Khartoum, I can't understand it. So if you ask for this, that means you are just seeking like 5-star life.
Kakšno vprašanje ali bomo zaključili? Ok, pa najlepša hvala. Upam, da bomo še kdaj pripeljali kakšne zanimive goste lahko. Na mizi je par naših revij, pa se jih kar vzamete. Če pa koga zanima mogoče prostovoljstvo na področju človekovih pravic, se nam Amnesty lahko vedno pridružite. V bistvu naša naslednja večja kampanja se imenuje SOS Evropa, gre pa za pravice migrantov in beguncev, ki skušajo priti v Evropo. Verjetno ste slišali, kaj se dogaja na evropskih mejah, ker gradijo v bistvu prave zidove, kaj se dogaja na Sredozemskem morju, toliko ljudi na leto v bistvu otone, ker Evropa vlaga in se trudi predvsem zapirati svoje meje, kot pa ljudem spuščati, da pridejo k nam in poiskati mednarodno zaščito. Tako da vabljeni na naši strani, najdete se spletne kontakte. Okay, so thank you to Samah and Sumeya, and to Tomo as well, of course. And you for listening, and Professor Rotter for having us here. Thank you.
For organizing it, yeah.
Thank you for listening, and thanks to Slovenia for the family reunion happened here, yeah. And really special thanks to Tom Prisoner, to Hope, to Clement, yeah, to Rock. There are it's a humanitarian organization. Yeah, they fight. They support the human rights, basic human rights in Sudan. And thank you for good listening, and please send our message to anywhere, to the government, to stop fighting on their time, to start really do what they write in the human rights and what the United Nations agreements and all that papers. They should do it in the land. Really, there are millions of people died in Darfur, in Nuba Mountains, in Africa, all, and they should really consider their life. We are human. We have the right to live, and despite our culture, nature, color, we have the right and we should have it. Thank you.